Hi Cuba Libre and all the rest of you good people out there. I hope that you are all safe and sound and that health is with you. Regarding your follow-up question on the forum on kind of identifying the radii on a facetted body in the purpose of rebuilding. It could be tricky depending on the quality of the scan. There are a number of tools that will help you. Now, for this purpose, I think I will have a different approach to this. So, I am going to show you a way of rebuilding this part. So, bear with me and let's see if it is to your liking. So, looking at the part here, we can see that it is a scan, yes. A little bit crude, I guess, kind of. I'm not quite sure. It might be the original that is the reason for it, the physical object. Now, when I get the part or something imported like this, I kind of like to optimize the data, if you like, and I normally do that by using polygon modeling and remesh. Now, if we do a view and we check the facet bodies, we can see it's rather dense. So depending on your performance on your computer, you might have some timely operations here. Now, as I'm going to rebuild this, I'm going to use it as reference. So the only thing that will be a little bit more timely is the analysis. On the other hand, I'm using the raw data that is imported. So let's go with that. And so let's kick this off. I'm going to rebuild this and I'm going to show you a way that might be, I hope, to your liking. So I'm going to throw a solid body in there. I'm going to throw a block in there that kind of covers the part. We can see it's actually bleeding through there. So we're going to move that face down a bit so we know that the whole scanned body is contained. Now I'm going to hide that for now, and we're going to continue in analyzing this part. So we go to the reverse engineering and we say the first analyze would be the detect primitives. Now, since this is somewhat 500,000 facets, it might take a little bit of time. We'll of course have a result in just a second. And there we have it, and we're going to keep it. So this tells us, if we would have read the color map there, that the red surfaces or red areas are planar, the blue are cylindrical, and the cyan colored ones are freeform shapes. Yellow ones should be conical shapes. Now that tells us that this is I shouldn't say all straightforward, but it's we could benefit from that analyze. So we're simply gonna start chopping our solid down to smaller pieces. So we say I'm gonna trim that block, which I have hidden for selection purposes. I'm gonna trim it with a plane, and I'm gonna trim it with a new plane. I'm gonna ensure that I have point selectors for face and facets. Or vertex, if you like, and I'm gonna start by selecting points on that red representation of a plane, and we will flip that around and we see that, yeah, that's our first surface. We do that again. We pick some points down here for this purpose, and yeah, starts to take shape. We continue. We're gonna do we're gonna trim that, of course, with yet another plane defined by 3 points on that red representation of a plane, and we can see that we're actually starting to get somewhere. Now I know that there are details on here that might be trickier than others. We have some sort of shape here which you will have to create. I'm going to create it. I'm simply going to trim it with a plane then. So we say that is probably, it's a little bit crude there, but oops, and there we go. That's why we hide the solid. So we reset that. We say with a plane, we say not that body, that body. With a plane, and it's gonna be a new plane. It's gonna be with these points on the facets, there, and there, and yeah, that should do it. We're gonna continue around, so we're gonna trim that block again. We say we got a couple of faces up here, let's use them. And they are supposed to be planar. So we say apply to that. We again use that and we say that's planar. Now this has turned out to be circular here, but I do think that is really planar. And we're going to flip that around. There we go. Apply, and we have the final shape down here, which should be planar. So there we got a rough shape. Now we got two sides of this, and I think that this has been drawn in a direction, maybe from this direction. So we got the planar face up here, we got the planar face down here, and we probably have some angular down there. We're going to do some of them. So we're going to do the same thing. We trim that solid down with, let's say, we start up here and we say that I'm going to trim it with something which I think is a representative, probably costed part and have a split line down here somewhere. So we'll do it in a couple of steps. And we keep on repeating this, and we use the red faces as good guides to what is planar and what is not. We do both sides just to be consistent. Now I think that this has been somewhat outside the analyze and defined as freeform, but really is planar. Or should be planar, but that depends on the quality of the data, the scan. So we do the last one here, and there we go. So we should now have something that is pretty decently contained. Now we got some issues down here to address. We got the major shape up here to address. We got the this I think might be important depending on the function of this kind of knee buckle, which I think it is. So let's address the area down here. I thought that might be an interesting thing to do. In this case, I know that this is planar. I'm not going to keep it planar this time. I'm going to do it a little bit differently because I'm going to work my way around all this area here. So in order to do that, we hide the block and we say we're going to do a little bit of reverse engineering here. So we're going to do a fit surface. Now a fit surface can do the whole region if we like. So we can do the color region. You can say color region and show me the facet face or the face, the result of that. Now that might not be what I want, or it might be what I want, depending on what you're after. But in this case, I'm actually after creating a face that is pretty square around there, and then continue work my way around the arch here, if you like. Okay, so let's do a fit freeform. We can do a fit planar as well. I'm going to do a freeform for this. And then I'm going to use single facet because it will allow me to kind of specify kind of points of facets that is going to be included in this, if you like. So I'm going to pick one there, I'm going to pick one there, I'm going to pick one over here, and I'm going to pick one over here. And we might want to pick some stuff inside here as well. There we go, we got a pretty decent face there. Say apply to that. And for the next, I know that this is all freeform shape. It's not going to be that much planner. It's going to be some sort of arch here. So I'm actually going to turn over to proper shade, and it will maybe make things a little bit easier for you to kind of grip. So we do yet another freeform. We know that we have an arch that is going to start from there, continue up here, and it goes probably over here, and then it transitions to a flatter area here, which is probably originally offset from that. But okay, so to quickly build this, we're gonna kind of eyeball a couple of points here. So we start freeform, single facets. We do one there, one there, one here, one here. And we can see that we might need to follow a little bit more. We do in the between as well, maybe there as well. We get a pretty decent shape there already. Then we might be able to continue all the way down. Let's see where we end up. So we're going to add a couple of points here, and that looks decent still. And we might want to add yet a couple of points. Here we go. Still decent face, pretty simple. And then you might want to add more points to this. It's up to you how close you want to follow this thing. Now I will do. I will be happy with that for now. And I will create more areas. We have one down here which is a little bit more flat, and I'm still going to use regular shading because the curvature analyze might support you. You can select with it as well, but since I am kind of eyeballing this, I kind of stick to this method kind of. So okay, we created something there really quick. Now we created a free form there. Might not be down here. Actually, I think it's more of a circular shape, so let's do a cylinder of that. Let's not do it closed, but it's going to be cylinder because it's going to kind of untrim quite nicely. We do apply to that. We might want to add more points to that. Depends on the details, how close you want that to follow. And let's see, if we can get that. Let's deselect some of these as well. Maybe that one. There we go. Threw off the direction of that. So, but I'm kind of happy with that. So I'm going to go with that. Now, the deal here is to create some sort of transitional surfaces here as well. And it all boils down to the accuracy you require. Let's say, for instance, this surface here. We know that it might be a little bit crude, and the pole situation might look a little bit strange. Remember, it's a rapid face, and it's with singular. But what you can do is you can actually smooth this down, should you like, and that will give you a nicer surface. So now this stuff needs to be a little bit oversized as well. So we're going to do extend sheet. Let's do some that way. Now you might want to shorten it a bit. It depends. Let's see. And then we're gonna let's do the big one here. That's going to control the size of everything here. Now this is why we have trimmed stuff down a little bit. to that solid, because these needs to be poking out through that solid, if you like. So apply to that. Maybe this guy is a little bit long, actually. We need a transition over to that surface there. Okay, and we're gonna continue extending sheets. Now, when we extend these, we extend them to be roughly same length. Here is also, this could be a flat surface, but it could also be a surface, let's see now, a smooth pole surface, if you like, to get rid of those kind of undulations there, if you like. We're going to continue extending the sheet because we know that it needs to be long enough. And here we can see that, oh well, this is kind of throwing me off a little bit. So let's do a smooth poles to that. And let's see where we end up. There we go, much better. Let's go with that. Let's accept that for now. And we have some stuff up here, and we're gonna adjust the length so they are not too long. Roughly the same is a good thing. There we go, not too long. Okay, and then we're gonna create transitional surfaces in between. So I'm actually going to use bridge here. I'm going to settle for tangency because I think that is okay here. So I'm going to go from that to that. And here you can control, obviously, depending on how deep you want that to be there. Now, this face here has one extension. That is, let's see now, that guy happens to be the last one. So we need to make it a little bit shorter. Let's make it shorter. So we have some lead into that bridge surface there. There we go. And also we continue with further bridge surfaces from there to there. And again, it's all about like shortening and arranging the way you want, or if you need to add blends, you need to set up your surfaces for doing blends. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna accept that. Well, you get the picture here anyway. So we're gonna sew all those sheets together. There we go. And we're gonna bring back our solid, and we're gonna ensure we can see that it's a little bit small still. So we have the, we have the extension there. Let's add another extension to here and here, and we're gonna add that a bit. There we go. And let's go back. Well, that's big enough. So let's trim it off. So we use trim body, not the plane. We're going to use a sheet. So we're going to trim our just created body with that sheet. And does not form because it's still too small. Could have caught that, I guess. And let's make it a little bit larger then. And let's trim it again. Trim that guy with that guy. Sorry, not the plane. There we go. Okay, we hide that guy. And so we're getting closer in our sculpting process here. Now, for the blends, you could of course analyze what they are supposed to be, or you could go with eyeballing the blends. And let's see here now. Maybe. Y. Yeah, looks like a 30. And let's just add the one down there. Oops, definitely not that. Around 6, looks a bit big. 3 maybe. Okay. 3 maybe. Now, to get the more accurate analyze results on this, so let's hide this guy and let's do a oops, sorry, that is supposed to be up there. Let's stop it again. Up there. Okay. And mouse is dying here. Sorry about that. Where were I? Let's see now. We were on the analyze. We were on the reverse engineering. And we were on curvature for body. So we're going to analyze this for curvature. And we have it set to 12. Now let's start at, let's say 2. We set both of them to 2. We can see that not many of them have 2. There's something bleeding through here. We increase it to 3. And here we go. When we start to get this kind of look, almost like a camouflage, we know that we are right. So that would be 3 most likely. And if I increase that, it's going to show the curvature there, but it's not necessarily going to be, it's going to show that it has curvature within radii 5, but that's all radii within 5. So this, when you see the bleed through, 3, this is a good sign of what this is. The bleed through says this is 3. So going back to my model, we can see that it actually lines up. Now it doesn't roll all the way because we have a sharp edge down here, but it actually do roll all the way along the correctly trimmed edges. Now it still has some fixing to do down here and in the rear, of course, so we still have some work to do. But that is as far as I will take this without making it too long. So I hope that this will help you in your future endeavors, Cuba Libre, and all the rest of you good people out there. So I will leave you at that, or with that, and take care, be safe out there, and stay healthy. Until next time. Over and out from Fred. Bye for now.